Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out here for you regarding Ukraine. But before we get into that, I just want to apologize for my voice once again. Still a little bit under the weather and my voice is really not doing too well. So I appreciate your patience with me. Thank you so much. So let's get right into this news here. So it looks like the U.S. is going to be sending $300 million in aid to Ukraine. Okay, this was approved by the Biden administration, not necessarily through Congress. All right, and this is the first bit of aid that Ukraine has gotten in, I want to say, at least a month, maybe longer now. So this $60 billion aid package is still held up in Congress. It still has not been passed through the House yet. And the Biden administration has been trying to figure out however they can, whatever ways they can to get some funding to go to Ukraine. So Jake Sullivan here, the U.S. National Security Advisor you see on your screen, he just announced that today during a Pentagon press briefing. So I've got some information coming out here. So as far as we know, the funding where this came from, it came from unanticipated cost savings from Pentagon contracts and would be used for artillery rounds and munitions for high mobility artillery rocket systems, which are HIMARS. Excuse me. So uh, this is mostly going to be supplying artillery rounds and HIMARS, and then also we've got some information as well that the White House is expected to be sending more ATACMS missiles. Okay, ATACMS. So these are the Army tactical missile systems. These are like medium range rocket systems that can shoot missiles up to 100 miles and carry warheads containing hundreds of cluster bomblets. Okay, so these are pretty effective missiles that will be sent to Kiev as well in Ukraine. All right, so I want to get right into this and show you this article here. So let's get this up on the screen. This is from Reuters. U.S. to send 300 million in new weapons package for Ukraine. The United States will send a new military aid package for Ukraine worth 300 million. President Joe Biden's administration said on Tuesday, the first such move in months as additional funds for Kiev remain blocked by Republican leaders in Congress. The White House has been scrambling to find ways to send more military assistance given the situation on the battlefield and the resistance to the funding of Republican hardliners. Okay, so U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said the funding was coming from unanticipated cost savings from Pentagon contracts and would be used for artillery rounds and munitions for high mobility artillery rocket systems, which are known as HIMARS. Okay, so this is mostly artillery and rockets that are going to Ukraine. I don't know if they're going to be sending them any like rifle ammunition or anything like that. But it does say here this ammunition will keep Ukraine's guns firing for a period, but only for a short period, Sullivan told reporters. It is nowhere near enough to meet Ukraine's battlefield needs, and it will not prevent Ukraine from running out of ammunition. Excuse me. So, again, here, so this is not going to be enough, nearly enough. It's only 300 million. Okay, it's really not a lot of aid, but it'll probably keep them going here for another week or two, is what I'm thinking. But a very short period of time, this will keep them in the fight. When right now, obviously, Ukraine is very low on ammunition, very low on artillery. They have very little anything. So this will keep them going for a little bit longer. The new weapons package was first reported by Reuters early on Tuesday. The last drawdown was in December 2023 when funds to replenish stocks fell to zero. U.S. officials have looked at options for seizing some 285 billion Russian assets immobilized in 2022 and using the money to pay for Ukraine weaponry. So that is something that the U.S. is still trying to do. They're trying to access this 285 billion in Russian assets that were seized by or from Russia at the beginning of the war whenever they invaded Ukraine. So they're still trying to get that. So the announcement came as Poland's president and prime minister meet President Joe Biden at the White House later on Tuesday to talk about ways to bolster support for Ukraine. Using the funds that have been returned to replenish stocks opens a narrow window to urgently allow more aid to be sent from existing stocks as the Biden administration waits for supplemental funding to be passed by lawmakers. So they're trying to get some sort of aid to them right now while they can, this window of opportunity is open, and hopefully that'll hold Ukraine out for a couple more weeks until we'll see if this aid package in Congress gets passed. Biden, a Democrat, has backed military aid to Ukraine since Russia's full scale invasion in 2022, while he is a likely Republican opponent in the November 5th U.S. election. Former President Donald Trump has a more isolationist stance. So that's obviously a big issue, right? Is This war in Ukraine may come to a halt here, or at least run into major roadblocks this coming November if Donald Trump is expected to become president as of what would it be like January of next year when he gets inaugurated. So there's going to be a lot happening here with this war in Ukraine throughout this year. Okay, there's going to be a lot of aid packages that are probably going to get passed for Ukraine, and they're probably going to try to be able to fund Ukraine for the next year or two and get them a lot of money and equipment to keep this war going, because obviously this war is very important to the United States and to the West, the Western countries like NATO countries, Eastern Europe. This is just a very important war for everybody here, and including Russia. Russia doesn't want to lose this war either. So this just goes to show right here that this situation is very dire here over in Ukraine, and the United States is doing whatever they can, even when they don't have very many options. They're looking for whatever way they can to get some form of military aid to Ukraine to keep this war going. Because right now, obviously, Ukraine is really having to backpedal here and fall back because they're low on ammunition and artillery shells and missiles and everything. And they're getting their butts kicked on the battlefield right now because of their lack of supplies. So let me know what you think down below in regards to this, but this is the latest information here just coming out today that the U.S. is planning to send $300 million in new weapons and aid to Ukraine to keep them in this fight against Russia. So comment down below your thoughts, and also if you enjoy this content, please consider hitting the smashing the like button for me. And if you enjoy my content, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody take care. God bless. See you in the next one.